Here we go. La, 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 la.
Hi, America.
Hello, America. Welcome back to Angel and the Wiz.
Taken for granted, never ever wonder.
Now we're going to pick up the Hawaiian vacation from Friday on, but I also want to remind you that for those of you who are enjoying, hopefully some of you are enjoying the strangeness of the Crocked Cook, which was a satire about Julia Child called Julia Tensil. And it was done in 1974. It was aired on November 16th, 1974. And that's part 2 is later on at the end of the show. Now, so we just finished snorkeling.
So we're
They
snorkeling.
gave you the Dramamine. You went out for a couple hours.
Yeah, we went out. I was done, and then I actually woke up as we were driving back to shore.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I miss And even the crew member's like, well, you look a lot better.
Right.
The one that like pulled me in the back. So anyway, I had gotten motions. We went snorkeling. I got seasick. It was bad. So we recovered, and then we met my parents had come in on a Thursday, so we were meeting them on Friday. My sisters came in on Friday, and we weren't going to see them until Saturday. So we went out for some drinks, and my boyfriend got
This was Friday night?
This was Friday night, yeah.
Okay.
My boyfriend got really sunburned.
Okay,
And
you gotta be careful.
Yeah, well, this is what he did. He goes, I don't know how I had that. They gave us a
Sunscreen?
not sunscreen. We had sunscreen. He didn't put it on. Or we
Well,
were going
it don't work in the
We were
tube.
going to put it on, and then they said, "Here's swimsuit,
Wetsuit?
a wetsuit, a top only."
Okay.
So they gave us a top. So he had the top on
Right.
until at the end of the second snorkeling. Well, it's the hottest part of the day there,
Sure.
so he takes the wetsuit off the top, and
Right.
then he's all he was sunburned. He was nuclear.
Wow. That's
you
what
know,
happens. People come to
and I was
Florida.
like, and so he's like, I don't know how I got sunburned. I was like, you idiot!
You were out in the
Like
sun.
you were in the sun. What did you put any sunscreen on after you took your wetsuit off? And he goes, no. And I'm like, well, there you go.
There you go.
And he's like, well, and he's like, well, you didn't remind me. I said, I was sleeping. I was sick. What's wrong with you? And then he was fun. And then he thought I was mad at him because when I'm not feeling well.
You mean you're a tad grumpy?
Well, I'm not grumpy. What it is like,
You're not feeling well.
I don't feel well, and then people start to get start to feel claustrophobic. So I feel nauseous. My body's not regulating temperature. I'm on a boat. I'm cold. I'm in my bikini, and next thing I have is like my boyfriend hovering over me, trying to touch me, and I'm like, please don't touch me. I don't want to feel body heat. Like, you just need to go away. And he's like, I'm sorry. So later he's like, are you mad at me? I'm like, no. I just was trying to tell you I need to have space. I can't have people hovering over me. And he's like, okay. I said, this is just how I am. So anyway, Friday was the worst
Okay.
day.
Did he put a lot of Noxema on and stuff when he got home?
No, I gave him
some stuff?
There was some lotion, like body lotion that had aloe vera in it.
Okay, good.
That was just part of like the little things that you get at the hotel. So I put that on him, and then he put an ice pack. He was saying his shoulder was hurting.
Right.
And I said it's probably from the snorkeling part, just because you're you're in the water and you're using your arms in a way that you're not used to using them. So he said his shoulder kept hurting him. So I put an ice pack on that, and he said, oh, it feels better. I said, okay, great, leave it on.
Good.
So I took care of my baby.
Okay.
And then
That's Friday night. Okay.
Saturday,
Right.
we went ziplining. Way cool.
Okay.
The best part was
You, your sister, and your mom?
My
or
mom.
both sisters?
Well, one sister, because the other one's 5 months pregnant. They wouldn't let her go.
Oh, cool. I don't blame
Yeah.
them.
So my mom, my dad,
Oh, cool.
myself, my boyfriend, my one sister, brother-in-law, and then my other brother-in-law went.
Okay, fine.
my other sister stayed at the
Now, when you
hotel.
do the zip lining, you go from this point to that point, and then how do you get back? Do you zip back?
Well, what they did, they had 8 zip lines, and they took you. You start at one, and then you go from one to the other.
Right.
From one side to the other.
Right.
And then they had another. They either had another zip line that you just go to a different direction. So you just kind of like zigzagged.
Okay.
And there were a couple of spots where you couldn't zigzag across. You had like you would go across, but to get to the next point, you had to walk down,
Mm-hmm.
or hike down a little bit to get to the next point. So it was really cool to do that.
Do you do all 8 when you go up to
we
do
did
it?
all 8,
Okay.
yeah. And the funny part was the first line we went. My 2 brother-in-laws were like one of the last 2 to go, and so the big tall one was like goes to do it, and he's like he froze. He couldn't because you actually walk yourself down. Some companies you get pushed, but this one was really great. They had stairs, so they had this platform. You get hooked on by the professional, and then you technically just walk down these stairs, and at some point the
line picks you up.
picks you up, and then you just, because it's at a right angle, you just go.
Right.
So, yeah, my brother-in-law walked down one stair, and he was like, "Oh, I can't do this," and he's like supposed to be the tall, manly one, and we're like, whatever. So we thought that was hilarious.
Right.
Mostly because he's also like the one that's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Can't stand him.
Good.
Anyway.
I hope they don't watch the show.
They get on my nerves. I
Okay.
love my sister and my brother-in-law.
Okay.
I like them a lot. I love them a lot more when.
So did he finally do it or not?
Yeah, he finally did it because
Okay.
at that point there's no return. Like
Oh.
the van is gone. Like
Oh.
so the only way down
Is this?
is this, and so.
Oh, it actually through the zip line it takes you down to back to where you started?
Almost. It gets you pretty darn close, and then a van comes and picks you up and takes you the rest of the way.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was really cool. I have some video of it. I haven't uploaded anything anywhere.
Oh,
but-
yeah, because I noticed you didn't bring any pictures, so. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I took a lot of photos, and that's the other thing. You have like it's like you can take postcard quality photos everywhere you go in Hawaii,
Okay.
on Maui, and so I just have to go through and edit them. Some of them we were taking when on the road to Hana, and you're just taking pictures of scenery and scenery and scenery, and you have to get
So.
it's blurry, or you just have
Right.
to go back and edit. But you don't have time to do that while you're on there.
Well, so you'll make us a some type of representation.
Yeah,
And
eventually.
we'll do it in another show.
Yeah, eventually.
And
we'll get
you can do the
photos.
voiceover, and we'll just show the pictures. Sure, why not?
Yeah, we'll do
Okay,
that.
so now
So that
Saturday was zip line.
Saturday was zip lining, and then we went out for dinner and drinks with my family,
Okay.
which was
This
nice.
was mom and dad too.
Mom and dad, yeah, everybody. Mom and dad paid too. It was really nice. On Sunday, the boys went deep sea fishing,
Okay.
and the girls went to the spa.
Oh.
It was fantastic. The spa was fantastic. I got a facial, I got a full body massage, and I got my nails and my toes done, and it was fantastic. The boys, first of all, the boys were sick.
Okay.
They said that my dad says that it was this. Or my dad says they were all seasick. I think one was seasick, my brother-in-law, who wouldn't go down the zip line. So we think he was actually seasick.
Mhm.
My boyfriend said he felt a little nauseous, and that, but they think it was the sandwiches because
Right.
they got sandwiches the night before,
Right.
put them in a cooler, and then
Right.
had them on a boat later. So you're having like day-old Subway
Sure, I
sandwiches.
gotcha.
And that on a ship is just not going to agree with you. But so I think that one was actually seasick, and then the other 2 just were nauseous. Adam said he didn't throw up, and I was like, right, I'm sure he did. But my other brother-in-law was like, I didn't feel good, and I just let it out, and I felt a lot better.
You know
So-
something? I hope we're not putting these businesses out of business
No,
by telling everybody
no,
about how
no.
sick everybody gets.
No.
But I bet you it happens all the time.
Oh yeah, it happens. The
It's good to know that. Now I would never go out there because I don't need to be around the puking.
right. The guy said, especially when we were snorkeling, one of the crew members said, he goes, it happens. These seas are choppy, and it happens. And I just wanted to be like, if you know this happens, why'd you feed us breakfast?
Right.
Like that's the part that I was like, why'd you give us food before we went on a boat?
Right.
So, but half the ship on that snorkeling day, literally half the people were probably
Sick.
just seasick in that first spot. And then once we started moving, everyone calmed down except for me.
Right.
Everyone got better except for me. I was the worst. So, anyway, so we did the spa thing, and then we went to dinner on Saturday night or Sunday night as well.
You always stayed on the same island, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we didn't island hop. And then Sunday was the ceremony.
Okay.
It was beautiful. The photographer, my mom just emailed me pictures, or the link to the pictures that the professional photographer took. And then, of course, I took pictures, and Adam took pictures, and then my brother-in-law took pictures. He was a pain in the butt because he was like trying to, he's like trying to frame stuff.
Right.
This is what the guy says. He's like, I'm finally getting to use part of my degree, and we're looking at him, like Adam and I are like, we do this for a living, so get the hell out of our way.
Right, right,
you
right,
know?
right.
I'm like, we know how to pick a good scene, and you know.
Composition.
Yeah, it's things like that, and he's like doing this, and he's like getting angles like this, and I'm like, whatever, just out of my way. So.
Well, you know, but you get
Yeah,
that.
but yeah, so he thought that he was the top man for the job, and
Right.
we all like Adam and I just looked at him and were like, whatever.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so tell us about the ceremony. Was it
It
nice?
it was nice. I didn't cry. My other two sisters cried, but one's pregnant, so she cries on anything. She does. I was like,
I'm sure. I
but
believe you
They
completely.
had the guy come, and he played the conch shell, and he like blew through it, and
Okay.
it just this really cool sound. And then he went through and said some stuff. Very well done, because he memorized everything.
Okay.
With the exception of my mom and dad. My dad wrote their wedding vows 35 years ago.
Okay.
And so the whole ceremony thing, the preacher, Reverend Joe, had memorized everything.
Wow.
And it was like, when you looked at, he handed us the copies of it, and it was like 15 pages of words that he was, the only part that he didn't memorize was the wedding vows.
Right.
And he had them in advance, but I'm sure that it was not, it was out of the norm.
Right.
But it was wonderful. He said, it was beautiful. So, and my mom and dad looked great, and the pictures that I saw turned out good.
And how did everybody dress? Was this on the beach?
I was on a beach, yeah.
Okay, so how do you dress for something like that?
I just wore a dress that didn't touch the floor.
Great.
And I had sandals with me, but you walked onto the beach and you just took your sandals off.
Right.
Because, you're on
And
the
how did
beach.
your mom and dad dress? Did they dress formally or
They
just
dressed
similar?
yeah, well, that was an issue. My mom had this beautiful dress. It was like a bronze color, so when the light hit it, it shimmered a little bit gold, but it was just a beautiful bronze color. And then she sent me an email about a month and a half ago. She goes, "What's your father gonna wear?"
Ah!
Well, Mom, what are you wearing? So she sends me pictures of what she's wearing, and I said, well, he needs to have similar colored pants, but give him a white top. And she's like, why white? And I was like, because you can't have brown and brown. You guys are gonna look weird. I said,
Right.
he needs to have brownish, bronze-looking pants
Right.
that will complement your dress.
Right.
But he needs to have a white top.
Right.
It's going to be on the beach. You can't put blue
Right.
because
Right.
there's the ocean in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to do any funny colors. And she's like, okay.
Did her skirt go all the way to the ground?
Yeah, hers was long. Yeah, when she gets that sucker dry cleaned, they're going to be cleaning out sand for a year from that
Okay.
dress.
Okay.
At one point we all got on the sand. The photographer made us all sit on the sand, and I was
Why?
like, for a particular picture.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay. So what did he finally end up wearing?
brown
and white?
Brown and white, yeah.
Okay.
And then they had lays, and my mom had an all white lay,
Mhm.
and my dad had a green lay with white flowers. It was a tea leaf lay, and then
Right.
it had these white flowers on it, which were the same flowers that my mom had all around hers.
Oh.
So you could see her lay against her dress, and then she was wanting my dad to have an all white one, and I'm like, Mom, he's got a white shirt on. You
Right.
can't give him white flowers because then you're
You
not
won't
going to
see
see
him.
the white flowers. And she's like, oh.
Okay.
So anyway.
Did the green cut
It
off nice?
It looked really great. They looked fantastic. So, and then we just stood by and they listened, and I had a teal colored dress with little flowers on it. My sister was wearing some sort of pink and black thing, and then my other sister had on, the pregnant one had on this beautiful tannish, grayish dress. So that, she goes, they hemmed it too short, and I finally said, how pregnant were you when they went to hem it? And she's like, it was like 2 months ago, and I'm like, you have a baby bump now. Like,
right.
it's going to make everything shorter. And she's
Sure.
like, shut up. So, anyway.
Okay, so everything went nice.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? After
Oh, then we went to lunch.
This is Saturday now or Sunday?
Sunday. No, this is Monday. Monday was the ceremony.
Monday
So,
was the ceremony.
Monday was the
What happened
ceremony.
on Sunday? We missed Sunday.
Sunday was the spa and fishing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Monday was the ceremony. Monday evening, we all went to a luau, which was fantastic. And then on Tuesday, Adam and I left.
Oh.
Yeah.
So all in all, a good time was had by
It
all.
was good. I was crying on Tuesday. I didn't want to leave. I think I didn't want to leave. This is what I told Adam. I said, it's not so much that I don't want to leave Hawaii. Because even though I just didn't want to come home to the chaos I knew I had to come home to.
Right.
Because during the trip, I also had quit one of my jobs. So in the back of my mind...
You did quit while you were gone?
Yeah. In the back of my mind, I was dealing with how am I going to adjust my finances and change my budget, and I have to get a roommate, and I have to find insurance cards, and, it's things like, there's just a bunch of stuff that I was dealing
Right now.
that was kind of in the back of my mind, and I knew that I was going to have to come home to this chaos of everything that I had been putting in the back of my mind while I'm enjoying this fantastic vacation.
Okay.
Was going to now have to come forward.
Okay, so you flew back home. Everything went fine. What? Tell me about the job. What happened? What happened? Why?
I was...
Can you say why?
I can't. I was placed back into the classroom last year. It's blinking red.
Oh, well,
Sorry.
if it's maybe that's getting. Where are we at? Well, if it stops, we'll pause.
Okay.
Change, which I have right here. I was gonna
Okay.
just put this one in, but that's probably what it is.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Why
Want me
don't
to
you?
do that? Okay.
Why don't you do a pause? Okay, so good. Now we got rid of the red light. Now, why the
so
epiphany? What made you realize?
At the end of the year, I was kind of told I was at the end of the year at the brick and mortar school. I was told that I was going to be put back into the classroom full time for budget reasons.
Okay.
Wasn't pleased about that, but whatever, it happens. But it was never a definitive "you are in the classroom" type thing.
Right.
They never, I never got a final answer. And then the Friday before we left for the trip, I had emailed the principal saying, I just want to know what the status is. And she confirmed then, you will be in the classroom full time and you'll be teaching this. And I said, okay. Then I had to relay that to the other school because some of the things...
This is the internet
the
school?
The online school,
Okay,
yeah.
online.
So what I had, because there's meetings I would have to attend as part of the job requirement, which are during the day, which is when I would be teaching, so I would have to take
The meetings
time,
for the internet.
Yeah, I would have
Okay.
to leave campus
Mm-hmm.
for the brick and mortar to go to a location where I could log onto my computer and do these online stuff. So anyway, the online school had decided that was a huge conflict of interest, and I don't blame them for that.
Mhm.
I really don't. So
You can still get benefits either way?
I still got benefits.
Okay.
I had benefits anyway. So then it came down to, well, they said you have to choose. You can't do both. We're not going to allow you to do both. So you have to pick either us or them. And I think that they had fully expected for me to say, well, thank you, and I'm going to go with them.
Okay.
But it turns out they pay more.
Okay.
And even with all of the insurance and stuff taken out, they pay more.
The internet is still
The
a better deal
internet
for you.
is- Yeah, and
Does it have any security? Because I know you can get tenure at the brick and mortar school. Can you
but
get tenure
can't even
online?
you can't get the tenure at the brick and mortar school. It's
Anymore.
not down here anymore either.
Okay.
I was one of the when I started there. After my second year, that was like the last time they did that. So
Okay.
anyway, I resigned while I had to because I couldn't resign when I came back because the school year was starting.
Right. Oh, would have been too
we were
late.
missing 2.5 days of the beginning of the school year anyway because of the vacation. And that was nothing we could do. So I had to.
He stayed with the school.
He stayed with the school.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's his job. So I resigned, and
So
I
now
was sad about that.
Well, you were there for years, weren't
I
you?
was there for 5 years.
Okay.
I was sad about leaving because I was gonna miss the people.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
It's the people
they
more than
really
anything else.
Yeah, they really became my family. That was my social interaction was going around and talking to my peers and, getting exchanges of personal stories and things like that. So that's the part that I'm gonna miss the most. And I actually cried about that when I was writing my resignation letter. And then when we came back, first of all, when we came back, I had to take Adam right from the airport to the school, and so he can, because he had to go and work and pick up some stuff, and I just went there anyway because I knew he wasn't going to stay there very long, because we had physically been up for about 24 hours.
Right. Even
more, probably pushing 30. And so I just went, so then I wanted to say goodbye to people. So I did. I went and I said goodbye, and I'd start crying.
Oh, I believe that.
Like, I'd walk in, and first of all, I'm like, I haven't slept in 24 hours.
Yeah, so you're already exhausted.
So I'm already exhausted, which means my emotions are out there anyway. And now, and I'm stressed because of some things I had to take care of right away.
Right.
And I was a hot mess. And you know it's bad when your boyfriend tells you you're an emotional wreck. Like, and you're like, oh, yeah, I am.
Right.
Like, that's the truth. So, but I just got to say goodbye to people, and I really needed to do that.
Okay, so now you're just going to be doing the internet school, and then the other thing that you do.
Yeah, the other thing that I do, yeah.
Well, all I can tell you is that I hope it works out good for you, because it's a big decision, to give up whatever security was with that.
It is, but I get to make my own schedule working online.
Right.
And I'm already feeling the benefits of how stress-free it is.
Good. It's probably going to open up your days, your weeks.
Yeah. So it's been fantastic. So, and it's only been a couple of days. We're taping this on a Saturday, and so I've been back from the trip for just a couple of days.
Well,
and just to give, and I've already felt. I felt better.
Look, it took 2 weeks almost to talk about your trip to Hawaii.
I know.
Okay,
that's because it was a good trip.
Well, that's good.
What's new with you?
Well, we don't have time for that.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. I want to tell you that Susie at the Dump is now on YouTube. If you go to Angel and the Wiz on YouTube, Susie, the complete Susie is there. It's never been available before. And we are about to go to part 2 of the Julia Child Satire, the Julia Tensil show, the Crocked Cooks. And it was a lot of fun to make. You're sitting there and stuff like that. The first week, what does it say? Oh, yeah, she was showing utensils. This week she's going to start with vegetables. Okay, I forgot to tell you about utensils that way. So, until we meet again in a couple of weeks, God only knows what we'll talk about that week. Nice to have you back. Glad you're back safe and sound.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So, even if it's a little thing, do something good.
And volunteer at your local animal shelter.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, kids.
The vegetables are, it's very important to have a clean kitchen around here. The meat is fresh though. The meat is fresh. I'm going to get some vegetables here that we need. This is not a vegetable, it's an egg. This is also an egg, it's not a vegetable though. I'm going to cut them up though, these vegetables. I always keep mine fresh and wrap them in plastic wrap. Plastic wrap is wonderful. I love it. Garnishes. Guess that's all. Where's my bowie knife? Do you think I should use the paring knife? It's not a pear. Guess I'll use the jackknife. Jackknife wins! Where's the jackknife? Oh, the jackknife's right here. You should use a cutting board. And using the jackknife. Oh, we should go through the vegetables, shouldn't we? You don't even know what a vegetable is. You're learning, though. This is a potato. It's it's really a yam or a sweet potato, but can't really tell these things. You can only ask the potato itself. It's a sweet potato! Sweet potato, and we're gonna cut it right up! And this is celery. This is celery. These are eggs, I told you about those. And these are garnishes. These are garnishes for the thing that we're going to make. Bouillabaisse à la Parisienne. Now we're going to cut them up. You should always push things out of the way. I always push things out of the way, except the fresh meat. Fresh meat goes here. We use what? Now, quiz time. How should we cut the potato? Or the sweet potato, as it's called. I'm going to cut it right in two, except you use the right side. Right side, and you cut it right in. I love it. I love it. Cut it right in, you get it on your hands, and you really can feel these potatoes. I cut them in, and I notice I'm not doing it straight across. Right down into the potato. Right into the potato. I love it. God damn, it's wonderful. Cut right into these potatoes. We need bite size for what we're making. Bouillabaisse à la Parisienne. We need to cut them down. I love it. I love it. Yes, we're going to cut up these vegetables. We're going to cut up the celery. We're going to have a wonderful thing here. Now, the potatoes are done. Should always move them aside. Show them, move me. I'll do it again. Move them aside. That's it. That's it. Now, we're going to cut up the celery. Move things out of the way, always. Move things out of the... Oh, my eggs. My egg. Oh, my egg. Oh, my... That's all right. Throw them aside. That's right. When they break, you don't worry about a thing. Some people get upset. I don't get upset about anything. Because on the Crocked Cook, Crocked Cook, you cut them right in. Celery is cut like this. On a board, of course. We don't have a board, though. We don't have a board. We don't have a board. We cut them up like this. Notice the diagonal cut? That's the secret. I've got a lot of them here, a lot of cuts. See that? It's easy. Cut them up. These things are called tops. Tops you can do a lot of things with. I throw them out.